Well, this destruction of unions is a criminal activity, as Business Week correctly points out, and is very successful. And the reason is it's supported by a criminal state. And here I'm using the term criminal in a very narrow sense. I don't mean it metaphorically. I mean in the sense of violating its own laws. And it shows that, contrary to what you're taught in Sunday school, crime does pay. In particular, it pays a lot when the state and private power, the two centers of power, are dedicated to crime. In that case, it pays very well, and this is a case in point. One of the main effects is the attack is that it increases the very successful attack on democracy. Unions are one of the few means by which ordinary people can sort of enter the political arena. And there's a good deal of hysteria, incidentally, when they try. If there's some time, I'll talk about it. The destruction of unions had a lot of other effects. It's, as the Labor Department has pointed out, and other researchers, the destruction of unions has been a major factor in, maybe the main factor, in lowering wages. Now, wages have sort of stagnated since real wages since the 1960s, but they declined pretty sharply under the Reaganites. And in fact, by 1987, they were even starting to decline for college-educated people, which is quite unusual. In fact, again, unprecedented, apart from, like wars and things like that. Another effect, a useful effect of the destruction of unions is that it undermines the general benefits that are guaranteed by the Universal Declaration. So like health and safety standards in the workplace, for instance. They're still there, but they're just not enforced. And they're not enforced because there's no unions around or other pressures that will force the decision-making forces, the corporate interests in the state, to enforce them. And in fact, industrial accidents have risen very sharply over the last 10 or 15 years, as again Business Week points out. And apart from things of that kind, there's a rather important and hard to measure psychological effect. One effect of the destruction of unions is to add to the pressure to privatize aspirations, to make everything for yourself. It eliminates the sense of solidarity and sympathy and the sense that you're supposed to care for each other and so on, not just yourselves.